David Payne. Very nice to meet you. David Payne. Sorry. Very nice to meet you. David Payne.
Prime Minister, this is Bill Hunter, the director. I met with the deputy director. So, Prime Minister, CabdiWali Sheekh Axmed. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the reception. Absolutely. So, Director, the Prime Minister is leading a forum for a democratic movement called the Forum of Unity and Democracy, united by a number of a few dozens of stakeholders, including civil society and business community and academic and intellectual community as well. About 27 different political parties among this forum. He's the main principal movement for the Somali nation moving forward with 2016. And he asked me for the opportunity to sit down with you. And I know, as Franklin County being the largest county in the state of Ohio, with history of U.S. With the democratic system, and so give him an update about how the system functions, a little bit of history of the agency.
Absolutely. First of all, we are the Franklin County Board of Election consists of 4 board members, and the board members are actually appointed by the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. So there's actually 2 Democrats that serve on that and 2 Republicans that serve on that board of election. And then we all work for the board of elections. And then if there's and then they hire all the rest of us. And everyone here is either a Democrat or a Republican. So every job there's a counterpart. There's a Democrat and there's a Republican. And David and I are the director and deputy director. And it's that way because the chairman of the board is a guy by the name of Doug Price. Yeah, and he's a Republican. Yes. And he's the chair of the board, so a Democrat has to be the director of the board so that there's always that cross-check. So there always we always have that cross-check. Not to say that anything ever goes wrong or creates a problem. So the board members are Doug Price, who's the chairman of the Franklin County Republican Party, and Brad Sennett, who is the chairman of the Central Committee of the Republican Party, and the Democrats are Greg Haas, the former chair of the Democratic Party, and Kim Marinella, she's the secretary treasurer of the Democratic Party. And I happen to be, just re-elected as chair of the Franklin County Democratic Party, so I kind of serve a dual role. I'm the director of the Franklin County Board of Elections, and I'm also chair of the Democratic Party. My colleague here, David, is a Republican, and I'll let David tell you his background.
Yeah, I've been here for 2 weeks. This is the end of my 2nd week. I have a background mostly in campaigns. So I was campaign manager for our former governor, Bob Taft. I ran his campaign for the state of Ohio. And so I have a background in running a lot of campaigns for the last 30 years. And I thought I knew a lot about elections, and I did from the campaign side, but now I'm actually learning how to put on elections, and it's a lot different. And so earlier last week, I went actually through a 4-hour training, and this is a manual that actually we have. This time we'll have 298 polling locations around Franklin County, and in each of those polling locations we have polling officials, and they go through training, at least 4 hours of training here. It's a pretty thorough training on how to deal with ballots and how to deal with people that show up at the wrong polling location. And then out front, and we'll take you out there a little bit earlier, but we have people for the last 30 days prior to the election can actually come in here and vote. So we have polling locations out there, and we'll show you those later, and there should be some people out there voting.
And almost 5,000 poll workers, depending on the cycle. A presidential year, it's more because there's just more folks come out to vote and more things on the ballot. During our poll worker training, as David said, we do, and I would give this to each of you, we do a really in-depth training. Because in Ohio, and I'm not sure how it is in other jurisdictions, our state legislature changed the voting laws. Since about 2004, it seemed like every year, you know, the laws, there's a little nuances in the law, and we have to follow the law. I cannot decide that I think I like it doing this way better than, you know, I like it this. I can't do it. I have to follow the law. And we both take a pledge that we will follow the law. And so these books are all the newest laws that surround voting and all the other aspects of voting.
So this is the legislation.
No, this right here is a training manual. Yeah, and it has it has everything that's been legislated and what we can and what we cannot do for voting. Yeah. And so we make everybody train on the, we actually do an in-depth training. You know, make sure all the other little information that we send you information where you're supposed to go vote. And we can't mess that up either. So we can't tell you to vote someplace where you're not registered. So we have to make sure that we got all of our information perfect. It can't be a guess, it's gotta be perfect. And then, and we encourage folks. You know, the right to vote is the right that we take very seriously, and we try to instill that in the general public out there for their right to vote. As you can see, as you came in here, we got a little sign out there that says "Vote here today," and you know, we try to do all that. And the key here is that we maintain a secret ballot, and we'll talk a little about that as I walk you around. We have a lot of security in place here. Like David cannot, or me alone, I cannot walk through some areas of once voting starts where there's live ballots. I cannot walk through all by myself. I have to have a Republican walking through with me. He can't walk through by himself. He has to have a Democrat walking with him. We even have a hand scanner, and we'll show that to you, where we lock all of the doors where there's live ballots with two locks on them, a Democratic lock and a Republican lock. And the only way you can open that door up is you have to put your hand in a palm reader and put a code in, and the door will open. And only the keys that you're allowed to take out are light up. And I can only take out my keys, the keys that are for Democrats. He can only take out the Republican keys. And then we have to both be there and unlock the door so that we can get in. And then we got to put the keys back, because if the keys stay out too long, the alarm will go off in his office and in my office saying, hey, this key is missing and this person has it.
I didn't know that. I just learned that just now.
Oh, yeah.
And how many workers?
Well, we have 42 full-time, but during election we can swell up to about 200 people. Now this is what this is our machine right here.
But it's not associated to you.
That if, you know, like these doors would normally be, or if you go inside, they'd be locked. I have to put my hand in here, I had to put my code in there, and put my hand in there, and it unlocks. See? Then I can only take out the 1, 3, and the 5 keys. That's the only key I can take out. And then David would have to do the same thing with his hand there, and then he can take out the Republican. And then those keys would be the doors maybe locked. But now this door is locked, I can't get in. Should have probably got the key. Oh. somebody here said, I can't get there, one Republican and one Democrat.
So common.
How are you today?
Back.
You? Good.
This is a big vote, and I don't know how it works. All I know is that it takes, we print ballots on demand, so if you request an absentee ballot, we'll print it up, and this machine will sort it by zip code number, and we'll scan it, and we'll call, we'll mail it out. We can do up to like 200,000, and sometimes more than that. That application there, or if you mail the ballot back in, and you come back and do it, sort it all out, go to the right place. It's technology I don't understand, but I know it works. You got the barcodes on there, and you know which post office is limited, you know who's supposed to deliver it to you. And so you could call me and say, Bill, where's my ballot? We can go back and we can tell you where your ballot is in the system. Whether it's been mailed out, whether it's got it, already delivered, or should have been delivered. Or
This has to do with what I'm 17, right?
And that was a more, and we not only had to hire 300 people, but we would have had to print every ballot stamp and then go and actually pull it off the shelf and put it in an envelope and lick it and then mail it to you. This takes care of all of that. We don't have to do any of that now. So everything, I mean, if you request a ballot, we got a print shop right back over there. We'll print it up and they'll bring it over here to us and we'll run it through the machine and we'll mail it to them. And when you mail it back to us, we'll run it back through the machine so we know it was received. So we know what went out and we know what comes in.
So this is what you do, the LA, just pick it up?
No, that's something else. No, I'm going to show you that. So this is just, an absentee. And what you, I don't know about that. These light ballots. So, this person, is there a ballot in here? Alright, there's a live ballot in here. So they come back, we mail it out. So this person, all this information gets scanned into our system. So we know that this person sent a ballot in. So we know it. But you see it's not open, it's sealed. Alright, and so we can't open it. And so once we're allowed to open it, we're not allowed to open these until 10 days before the election. And we got another machine that cut it open and then we'll take the ballot out and separate it from this. So we cannot tell how this person voted. We know this person voted, but we can't tell how they voted until we cut it open. And then we have, and this would do, we have folks sitting in a room and they'll take these out and open them up and put the envelopes down, take another one out, put the envelopes down, and then the ballot has a little perforated part on the end of it. We turn it off the ballot too. So we have no idea how that person voted in a separate location. And we just moved our warehouse here. Every voting machine. This is how we send it to this goes to the JW Research Elementary School. And these are all voting machines. Alright, and we'll ship it to the school like that. And they got locks on there. And then folks, when they get there, they'll be able to unlock it. And yeah,
And this is
right there. That's what it's going. That's right there. And so you see here, there's one for every voting location.
So how many votes?
We got 400 and now this election, I think we got 290 votes. Counted for this guy. For this election,
how many people average?
Well, it depends on the precinct. We own 4,700 of these, and we send most of them out every election. There's 890,000 registered voters, and when they all come out and vote, the largest election we had, we got maybe 500,000 people voted, and some of those voted 200,000 of those voted to an absentee ballot. Head out, and they'll test them to make sure that everything is right on them, and once it's all right, we'll send them on out. But this is the machine itself. And we got a lot of redundancy in the building. We got a flash card, a memory card, a printer. That's a paper tape. Go up. It says everything that we voted on. And then we make sure that we got folks to come by and make sure that tapes are fresh every election. Hey, young man, all the testing, everything got to be done.
And shipped out.
They got to all be shipped out, hopefully by tomorrow, by Friday or Saturday. All the ones that run out should be gone. Like I said, the whole room is full of the machine. And this is not a countywide election. If it was, it wouldn't manage. It's on election night.
No, I think it's just now the low season.
Yeah. It's not it's still an election. We still got getting ready to go out. We just don't need as many as you do. Everything, we send everybody out. Everybody goes out with one of these. And that's for, and this right here, it has, this is the thing that operates the voting machines right here. That opens them and closes them, and it actually keeps all the information. So all the information in that voting machine, all the activity of that machine, all the votes.
So this will be inserted.
Yeah, it'll be inserted in the machine by one of our folks, and our folks keep it. So every time a voter come in, they'll put that in there, and then the voter will vote, and then at the end of the day, we'll put this in a machine and we'll read all the information. Our poll workers have to bring this book back. They have to, at the end of voting, they got to put all these back after they close the machines down. Put all these back, bring these bags back to us.
But
here.
How if one of them stolen or lost?
We will find it. So we know everybody that's supposed to have one of those. It's about 269 folks are going to be in charge of a red bag. We got a drive-through area outside this room. They're going to pull up in here on election night. We're going to get this out their car. Somebody's going to zip it up, unzip it, look in there and make sure everything's in there, and then we let them go. If everything ain't in there, we'll tell them to pull off to the side and we'll ask them, where is it? Or if they don't show up, we'll send the county sheriff after them. I mean, because this is how we count the votes. And so once they've all come in this room, and then our folks have, they got counted over there and they're empty, everyone out, and then we'll tabulate the vote for the whole evening. And what they're doing, a little book like this show. Every poll worker will get a packet of information that will be in that little red book pertaining to this election. They'll get a copy of the actual poll book, which is everybody that's registered in their particular precinct. And that's what she's going through now. You want to show them the poll book, Carl? Sure. So everybody is registered to vote in that precinct. We got their names on here. We got we have their signature. So when you come in and vote, you tell her who you are and you show her some ID, and then you sign your name. And if it's got to match that. And then they'll fill that part out and give you a ballot. Or if you already voted, like this person already voted, right? So we already know who voted already. And so when you show up,
How do you know that this person voted?
you remember that machine you remember that machine that we just left?
Okay,
Yeah. If they ask for an absentee ballot and we scanned it back through as being received, then our computer person will put them as they voted an absentee ballot. So we know we mailed this person an absentee ballot, and we know that they either turn it in or that they actually have a ballot. So if they show up on election day and say, hey, I didn't fill out my ballot. I did ask for it, but I didn't fill it out. They had to vote what we call a provisional ballot. Wow. And so we'll still let them vote, but we tell them, hey, you were mailed an absentee ballot, and that's that big machine there. It mails all the absentee ballots, and so we know who's requested, and they show up in these books. So every location they have a book like this. So, and you have to sign it, it has to match, and then you're given an authority to vote, and then you're able to vote.
So this is more the names of the voters.
Yes.
These are all voters that are in one location that are on these books.
Right.
This is
Okay. Yeah. On election night, they're going to actually drive the car right through here, out those doors, and we're going to take that stuff from them. The books and all that stuff from them. Yeah, we're going to take it from them. And then we'll go through that process and figure it out.
Director, the white voting area, and that's what we're done. People are voting not right.
Yeah, we're going there now. Yeah, that's the last thing. Oh, you look fine. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How y'all doing today? Okay. Sure? Sure.
This is our entrance to the early vote center. We keep it separate from the Board of Elections. This is a room that no candidates can come in that are running on the ballot. And we have a greeter here that will hand out a card. It's an application to vote. They'll fill that out with the pertinent information. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. They'll fill that out with the information required.
He's filling out his right now.
Yeah.
And then after it's filled out, they'll take it over to the keyers, and they'll look up your name and address to make sure you're a registered voter first of all.
So once Abdi gets his filled out.
Yeah, we'll go over to the machine and we'll show you how it's done.
هتغير الديمقراطية وبالك دوك
No.
Oh, that's fine. I'll wait for this lady.
Okay.
Your ID. And they'll look it up on the computer here, because that's tied into our voter
So this
registration.
information will be input into
Yes.
the computer for registration.
Right, and she's doing it now.
Okay, well,
Abdi did everything right.
Not very long.
I'll be okay. You know, new persons tend to have a higher proportion of voter participation, right?
Karen, I'll get her. Sharon,
Then the registered.
Karen, I'll get her. Nobody else.
European countries do tend to vote higher, I think.
You seem you have a problem.
I do.
Oh, you messed it up. We do need an ID after all.
Scared you a little bit.
And see, what she's doing there is once we find him in the system, that's his authority to vote. And so now he takes that form
And you hand it to me.
and he handed it to him.
And I
this
take
is
it
how
over
we
to a machine.
And so what we'll do every evening, we'll process these. And we'll scan them, we'll process them, so we know that he voted. All right?
That's it.
We match this precinct with what the precinct on your card is, so we know it pulls up the correct ballot for your area.
Now, I will say that you're only allowed to take pictures of him.
And then we
can't take nobody else.
Then we bring up your ballot code each or ballot serial number. It's a sequential number that just kind of keeps track of how many voted. It's 1738246. That's correct. We accept it. And we display ballot now. I'll remove this, and this is when you start voting. When you hit this button, it brings up the candidates. It'll move on, and then when you're done, it'll say a little blinking light here that says vote. Hit that, and then after that, there's a big green block that says confirm, and then as soon as you hit that, you're voting.
I've done it a few times in
Yes,
the past,
okay.
so Prime Minister. maya waa gabagabo waayo dib aad ugu noqonaysaa mise waad diraysaa marka intaasaan doortay waan ogahay inaan okay ahay waxaan leeyahay marka confirm garay waayo marka haddaan dib baan u noqon karaa haddana si aan u xaqiijiyo xooga batalo confirm isku noqota waa mahadsantahay
elections in Somalia. So maybe the community will also be allowed to elect the officials.
We have done that before.
Yes.
We have actually held Somali elections at the Board of Elections.
Okay.
So your counselor will call us and tell us what day they would like to have it on, and then we've made our voting machines available, and then we've actually conducted Somali elections. We have done that. So if it's something you would like to do again, just call it.
The community, 2000.
Yeah, we did that in
2011.
2000. No,
2000.
Yeah. It was actually, we wish we were that advanced, but at the time was
that
local
mock elections?
Yeah.
No, community
elections.
That's what it was, a community-based election.
So as we move on, then we can discuss with you on how we can help the Somalis, diaspora Somalis here in Columbus, Ohio.
I look forward to working with you.
Yes, thank you very much. That would be great help. Well, America is home for elections and democracy. So we are a small kid, just born, right, and want to join the world of democracy, where people are allowed to have their rights to vote. Fantastic. Yeah, so this is what we are working hard for.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Director.
Very nice to meet you.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure meeting you.
Very helpful.